On today's episode of Identity, international model and actress Neetasha Singh shares her story in our coffee shop. We journey off to Mpumalanga in Emalahleni to cover the Lufuno creation fashion show. In our review segment, we check out the 21 Days for Gratitude app and an ebook by author Mandla Msibi with the Soul Doctrine on happiness. Then we end the show with Loyiso Bala with Saving Grace.
I am an individual with an imagination. My inner faith illuminates innovations. In a space with infinite inspiration, I was born free from all incarceration. Incredible, living infallibly, intelligent, outshine with my inner being. This is me, impeccable as ever been. I am you, you are me. This is my identity.
Molweni Mzansians, and welcome to Identity on this beautiful Sunday winter morning. I'm your host, Viwekwala, and today we promise you a jam-packed episode that will leave you feeling entertained and inspired for the week ahead. Yesterday, the Muslim community celebrated Eid al-Fitr, which marked the end of the fasting month of Ramadan. We hope you had rewarding Ramadan and that your Eid celebration was indeed a blessed and joyous one. Ungaxhumana nathi kwi-media platforms zethu wethu sikhona ku-Twitter, ku-Facebook na ku-Instagram. Sifune singu-Identity Television Show. Okanye ucinga ntoni nge-show yethu? Ungasi-emaila ku-identitytvshow@gmail.com. Njengesiqhelo siqala inkqubo ngencoko enentshiseko neyakhayo nabantu abaphumelelayo ebomini abasebenzisa isiphiwo sobizo ngokwasemoyeni ukunceda abanye abantu. Namhlanje sindwendwela ngumkhangisi wezimpahla zokunxiba apha napheshelo onguyena mntu onesithozelo kwaye ungumdlali weqonga uNeetasha Singh. Masidibane naye ngoku. Coming from Phoenix in Durban, she began her modeling career at a tender age of 13 and she has now walked on ramps all over the world. She also hosts her annual Women Empowerment Sessions to play her part in making a difference in the lives of young girls. Neetasha, welcome to Identity and thank you so much for honoring our invite.
Thank you so much, Viva, for having me.
Neetasha, you're this international model, but who is Neetasha really and what kind of childhood did you have?
Wow, so Viva, I was born and raised in an Indian township from Durban called Phoenix. I attended Hopeful Primary School and then I went on and attended Greenbury Secondary, both public schools, of which I remember clearly I used to take a bus to school. So, you know, a very, very humble upbringing. And who is Natasha Singh? Wow, who is she, hey? I think she transformed along the years. Okay. So from a teenager to a young woman, as I like to see myself, I really did transform. So back in my teens, I actually used to be a hip-hop dancer.
A hip-hop dancer?
Really? Something, a secret I haven't shared with South Africa.
Okay.
And then, of course, I found love and my passion for modeling. And I did my very first, modeling pageant at the age of 12, which was Miss Teen India, South Africa. Okay. And I was the youngest contestant there. And I think that was the defining moment for me in terms of my modeling career. And that's when I really, really fell in love with the catwalk and the cameras. So ever since 13, it just continued. My love and my passion for modeling continued. And I've been blessed to have traveled almost 40 countries, over 40 countries, and I've modeled for designers across the world. So yes, I'm growing and it's becoming more and more exciting, my journey here in the modeling industry.
Neetasha, you're living every girl's dream, including mine. But you know, speaking about your childhood and growing up, you said something very interesting. When you were asked, what would you like to be when you grow up? You just said happy. Please elaborate on that.
Wow, I think happiness is something that cannot be bought. It cannot be earned. It cannot come in a career. Happiness comes from inside you. So in order to excel in life, I believe you first need to be happy with who you are inside you, and everything else will just fall into place. So I think the key to success is being happy from inside. And I'm always hashtagging all my social media, you know, happiness from inside, you know, beautiful day, happiness from inside. Because I think you can achieve and accomplish just about anything you set your mind to if you are happy with who you are.
You're speaking about social media, and your blog has a very interesting slogan. Why specifically that slogan?
Okay, so it's live, love, laugh, and leave a legacy. Well, that's a quote by William Shakespeare. And I love English, I love poetry. So I was inspired by his quote by William Shakespeare, and that's what I named my blog. I think that basically sums up my life. Those 4 adjectives sums up my life. And I think in every successful human being's life, you need those 4 characteristics. You know, you need laughter, you need love, you need to live, and you need to leave a legacy, whether the legacy is for your country, the world, your kids. So basically, that just sums up my life and what I intend on doing here on earth.
You're Hindu.
Yes, I am.
And when I think of, you know, your religion and what you do, you're a model. You know, isn't that difficult to balance out?
I love my religion. I love God. I'm very deep in my faith. I respect him. I believe that he has brought me here, and he's the reason for all my successes. Certain things I've accomplished, I couldn't have dreamt of accomplishing, you know? So I always say it is the grace of God. So Hinduism, yes, we are of course from a very cultured family. And I guess the modeling, and especially the bikini modeling, was a slight issue in terms of Indian bikini model. But my family was very supportive. In the beginning, of course, something new, they were learning about it. But when my career blossomed and when I became really, really successful in it, they are very proud. They are exceptionally proud. And I can say the same for my community as well.
Okay. How do you apply your values, because you're Hindu, to what you do, which is modeling?
Viva, I actually want to quote something taught to me by my late dad from the Bhagavad Gita. It's Mata Pita Gurudev, which means mother, father, teacher, and then God. And that's how I live my daily life. Hinduism is a very beautiful, cultured religion. And it's also very important in Hinduism is seva, which is, of course, charity. And I'm very active in my community in terms of charity events and upliftment of my community and the youth of my community and young girls.
You host an annual girls' camp. Tell us a bit about that, because that really is exciting.
Okay, that's really, it is exciting. So basically I started something called Model Camp.
Okay.
This was 4 years ago. It's my 7th successful camp. So we take 100 aspiring models on a bus and we travel all over South Africa. And at this camp, what we do is we actually mentor them and train them on how to become successful models. But it's not only, there's no prerequisites or there's no requirements. It's not like, you know, we bias to size or color or creed. So it's open to everyone, to anyone that's passionate about fashion or wants to increase their self-confidence and self-esteem. And it's a jam-packed program, so it's everything dealing with nutrition, hair, makeup. We get photographers on board for photo shoots, you know, fitness, personal training, etiquette, how to be a lady, how to create your own opportunities. Viewer, I can go on and on and on about my model camp.
I'm like, this camp is amazing. Speaking about amazing, I've got a quick word game. So you need to be quick, Tash, as quickly as possible.
Oh my God, okay, I'm gonna try.
So are you ready?
Right, let's do
it. How would you like to be remembered?
Oh wow. Leader?
What's the one thing that you constantly think about?
God.
Do you squeeze the toothpaste from the top or bottom?
Center.
Center. Ooh, rebel. What does your room look like?
It's neat.
Okay. Where would you like to retire and why?
Right here in South Africa.
Why?
I love it. It's my country.
If you're not afraid to do something, what would you do?
I will conquer the world.
Natasha, thank you so much for joining us on i-Dentity. We had so much fun.
Thank you, Viva. I had absolutely a blast. Thank you.
Neetasha Singh is certainly an illuminating star, and we wish her all the best for the future. Remember to hit us up on all social media portals. We are i-Dentity TV Show. Alternatively, drop us an email at identitytvshow@gmail.com and tell us what you think of the show. Join me after the break when we visit Lufuno Creations fashion line in Emalahleni in Mpumalanga, where the entire congregation came together to support one of their members in her fashion venture. And then I'll be reading 2 of our favorite emails. Don't move, we will be back right after this.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Siyanamkela kwakhona usabukele inkqubo ebonisa iinkolo ezahlukeneyo khonapha ku-SABC 1 i-Identity. Uba usanungena uphoswe incoko ebesinayo nomkhangisi wempahla zokunxiba kwaye ungumdlali weqonga uNeetasha Singh. But now you're in time for today's story. A young designer, Lerato, invited us to her fashion show that took place in church with the full support of the congregation. We decided to pack our bags and headed straight to the sunny Mpumalanga for the Lufuno Creations fashion show in Linville, Emalahleni. Let's take a look at her story.
This is my identity.
My fashion line is Lufuno Creations, inspired by the art. I love fashion. I loved it since I was very young. I would just create things from nowhere, just tear up clothes and start them afresh, and yeah. Lerato was quite vibrant girl, creative, very outspoken and bubbly. I was born again in 2006. That's when I fell in love with God. I joined the church because I felt connected, I felt at home, I felt loved and just appreciated by everybody around the church.
Well, Lerato came in our church as a broken young girl, and we ministered to her and we tried to rebuild her life and assist her to find, the talent and who she is. And we discovered after some time that she's got also a talent of designing and fashion show.
Urato umntana uziphethe kahle nje uthanda inkonzo ne, and then udedicated nasemsebenzini wakhe and une-passion yokusebenza ngezandla including ukuthunga.
Lufuno Creations is creations of love. It is actually, the name comes from my name. Lufuno means rato in Venda. So I just love Venda people. That's why I just created my name in Venda. So it's creations of love. And God is love. That's why I called the brand Lufuno Creations. So my theme was African prints. I specialized especially with all African prints and African colors. It is important to involve God in my talent because it actually comes from Him. He's the originator of everything. It comes from Him. The Word of God says, wiseness. So if you just get that right, you will know where to start and go in life.
Young people in Mpumalanga face a challenge of fitting in the world. We want to be approved, we want to be popular, we want to be known, and that means that we find ourselves doing things that we are not supposed to, and at the end of the day you lose yourself. So the youth of Emalahleni is basically facing, what I've noticed, it's drugs. It has become a norm for young girls like my age, prostitution and all. Not that I'm judging them, but if we can all be one and do what is right, work hand in hand and trust God that He will pull us through.
Kubaluleke kakhulu because in a church, it's an environment where people come sometimes as infants and they grow through the organization. So as pastors, you are able to identify different talents that people have in the church, and some of them allow us to mold them. Most of them in the church allow the leaders to mold them and help them with the direction of where to go.
I think it's very important for young people to match their talent with God. In fact, their talent is God's given. It is God who has given them the talent. They are created in the image of God. They've got God has got a purpose about their lives, and God has given them gifts. God has given them talent, and it's the very same talents that they must merge with God in order for them to portray the goodness of who God is all about.
They say a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So I'm happy that she was able to take the first bold step and present even 7 pieces that which she put out today.
I see Lufuno Creations growing big, creating more fashion, creating more markets internationally as well. And creating more clothing and creating more skills for other up-and-coming designers.
This is my identity.
We all need to start somewhere to showcase what the Creator has blessed us with, and it's beautiful when you see the congregation coming together to support one of their members venturing into new heights. Lerato is certainly flying the Linville flag high with her fashion line. I have 2 emails here, and the first one is from Mboniseni Nechokochoko. It reads, "Hello, my name is Mboniseni Nechokochoko from Twera at Limpopo Province. I liked an episode you aired where Kate Roberts is helping young people in sports. She inspired me to work on my career in sports, and I wish her good luck." That's from Nechokochoko MP. And lastly, good day. i-Dentity TV show is a growing brand, and I do believe that your show is growing in numbers because the quality of the show is one of the best I've seen on television. Spirituality does play a huge role in our everyday lives, and it does constitute to our identity. Thus, the concept behind the show is revolutionary, and I have been watching the show religiously, excuse the pun. I have written a book that explores on one's spirituality, and this is what the show is about. So this is why I only hope to be part of your great work. Regards, Mandla Msibi. Well, thanks to everyone who keeps on sending us emails. We truly appreciate your feedback on the show. But now let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we check out a cool and informative app on what's happening. And we also review an inspirational ebook called The Doctrine of Happiness by our avid viewer, Mandla Msibi. Don't go anywhere because we will be back soon.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us right here on i-Dentity. If you've just joined us, where have you been? I began the show with the gorgeous and talented Neetasha Singh, an international model, and then we headed off to Mpumalanga to cover the Lufuno Creation Fashion Show. But fear not, because i-Dentity repeats right here on your favorite channel, SABC 1 on Thursdays at 11:30. Now it's time for our media reviews, so get your awesome gadgets out and check out what's happening. Our first review is 21 Days of Gratitude, which is a digital meditation program provided as a series of 21 daily meditations. The meditations are delivered in audio and video format, and in each day, the end user is invited to delve into another aspect of gratitude, and this is how you can use it. The 21 Days of Gratitude online program saw over 200,000 people in 204 countries explore the transformative power of a daily meditation practice. On this app, there are 21 different inspirational words of motivation from different mentors. When you click on Day 1, it's Finding Your Purpose by Tim Kelly. This tab has a video and audio, which you can click, where you will get to watch a 16 minutes video with content on things you were meant to do, or you can play the audio. Second day, when you click on the tab, you can get The Power of Focus by founder and CEO of Atom Factory, Troy Carter. And on the bottom of the screen, you can also share your wisdom by clicking on Daily Thoughts. You also have options of selecting Dr. Bhaskaran Pillai, an international teacher and spiritual leader and humanitarian, and have the content that will give you an option of viewing nature differently. And you can also purchase Deborah King, the energy healing expert who teaches about the gratitude for annoyance on Day 12. and you can share everything you will be receiving on this app with your Facebook friends. We received an email from our fan Mandla Msibi, who published an ebook about the Soul Doctrine on happiness. Let's check it out. The soul is one part of us we think of as good and eternal. But what is the soul really, and does the soul really make us happy? In each religion and philosophy, everybody has tried to define what the soul is. Thus, the Soul Doctrine on happiness is based on the idea that one should get a better understanding of the soul and how it contributes to our lives. The Soul Doctrine on happiness is a form of modern philosophy, which gives us some points to think about concerning the soul and happiness. This is an interesting read which allows one to reflect on one's life and opens the mind to intriguing thought. As you page through the electronic book, the first section talks about the soul, which attempts to make you understand the concepts of intellect, will, and desire, and will help you understand the soul that is based on philosophy. And as you read on, there's an infusion with some concepts from Judeo-Christian. The book leaves you with points to ponder about and things to work on as a person, and tries to answer questions such as, to what extent does the soul affect our lives? And what is happiness defined as? And what is the difference between the soul and the spirit? Here is a beautiful quote from the book. We were all put on this earth for a reason, and finding one's calling brings happiness because when we follow our purpose, we get closer to our soul. To get some soul consciousness, get this book today. That brings us to the end of today's episode of i-Dentity. Do keep in touch with us and email identitytvshow@gmail.com. And we're also active on the social networking scene. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, search for i-Dentity TV Show and connect with us with the hashtag i-Dentity. We end today's show with the powerful words of the Buddha. We are shaped by our thoughts and we become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. That's it from me and the i-Dentity team. Goodbye and God bless. We play out the show with Loiso Bala's Saving Grace. Let's hang out again next week at 11 a.m. right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure.